350 viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys enjoy what you're seeing, this is the grand finals of InkStorm plus EndGameTV's first Super Major online. Keep in mind, we have plenty of action left to come beyond this tournament and, you know, even in the offline sector. But regardless, all those details and more to come after what is going to be an exciting as hack muscle force fitness on a Rainmaker.
That is a triple 10 attack tri-slosher.
What? Are you okay? They have the goal to do it, and if they want to, that's fine. Hexen, Kiver, and Punyo pulling out those 10 attacks if they really wish to do so. They have the tri-slosher for the benefit of an Ink Armor rush. In the meantime, on the other side, 2 Ink Armors being stacked. One going down on both sides, and a lot of mayhem happening as Almost Kids trying to push this one up to the right side. Kiver not, oh my goodness, Kiver to the back of him, not seeing the Rainmaker come up, but Hexen able to show up for SetToDestroyX and USA on time as he's able to get control of that Rainmaker and take control of it, and leaving his teammate to push ahead of him. Punyo here on the left side, or towards the middle of the map, taking control of this left side, making sure that the rest of Almost Kids, if they're coming in from this left side to kind of push in for the right side of the map, make sure they don't get that chance. But unfortunately for them, it's going to be Almost Kids pushing it directly from that right side, directly next to the Rainmaker, and probably, if everything goes as planned, gets rid of Hexen there. Hexen not having the support that he wished he had, and 3 going down on the behalf of SetToDestroyX.
Yeah, this triple, I'm still reeling over this triple 10 attack comp right now. Really just looking for, I mean, they're definitely going to want a double inkjet here to really get a lot of pressure to start, and then maybe a third one to clean up. That's going to require so much coordination of the specials, and with deaths happening all over the place like that, they're going to have a hard time doing that.
Yeah, AK going down just there, and it looks like, once again, SetToDestroy able to put back control of the game bring back control to the game as soon as it seemed like it might not have been. Plenty of green across the map. We've been trying to take a look at to Kiver's kind of role and position in this team, and he is playing that frontline role. His team needs him to be Inkjet versus Inkjet on a precarious part of the map that we do see him out, but he's going to ignore it, obviously, with how tough it is to be able to fight. Nicely done there to be able to get the ending kill on top of the Almost Kids player. They're able to get a double as well, but Taku able to help his team recover from this, gets the splat on top of Pengit there, and able to survive a little bit longer on this 1v1 and to come out on top of Punyo. And now for Taku, he's playing the role, as he always does, as being the first out of the gates to get that Rainmaker in a position where they can push it up easily, get that in control in front of his team. Punyo here, right on the wall, trying to do what he can to get control of this middle of the map, and actually going to push to a part of the map where AK might not be suggesting. They will get the lead at 49. Not the best of leads, but still a neat lead regardless. And with that being said, Almost Kids taking it as soon as that happens. Hexen trying to get something of a flank going, but is going to be called out just like that. So right now, Almost Kids doing, you know, they're trying to keep control of that Rainmaker with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in this one. And unfortunately for them, it looks like they might be able to take the lead. 48 points on top of that, even despite the fact that in the middle of all that blue ink, they're able to take control of a situation where they seem to maybe not have been able to do that. Gets it up to the 45-point marker, and now gotta wonder what's going on with this SetToDestroy roster that's been trying to come back for quite a while.
Really just extending that push as absolutely far as they can, expending all their resources to do it, and just barely getting that lead there. So it's still not that great of a push, it's just barely on the ramp, so definitely still possible for SetToDestroy.
So right now, obviously Rainmaker going down towards that 49-point marker with 1 minute and 20 left to go. Kiver being called out and obviously being spotted out by Almost Kids, seeing that he was going to spawn back from his inkjet just like that. And with 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go, Almost Kids have this in a decent position. Deadbeat, unfortunately, not able to get the lead. And with the time left that's remaining, Almost Kids going to push this back to the opposite side of the map, where, granted, SetToDestroy has a lot of control of the ink, and Almost Kids has to be better to be able to, you know, put their front line ahead of them and get better control before they actually had a chance of that. I don't really think they ever thought they had a chance of pushing that one forward, because it's going to go down just like that with no seemingly won team fight there. And now SetToDestroy, if they're able to get rid of this AK member to the left side of them, they might be able to push this one even further. But unfortunately, Hexen going to peek out from that inflatable in a situation where AK was ready to jump the bat, ready to get their fire on top of that Rainmaker. the splat onto Penguin as well is going to mean quite a bit for that Rainmaker that's going to push to the middle of the map as a result. So with 23 seconds left to go, it's looking like SetToDestroy is going to be at a loss for this one.
Most of the map control is in Almost Kid's favor right now, and just need to get that triple 10 attack comp, really painting the ground, get those inkjets up, and make something
Let's
happen.
see. Inkjet pop from Punyo, maybe able to get the double. No, not just quite. They were within a grasp of him, but unfortunately not able to get it. Plenty of blue ink, but it's a frail false sense of defense in front of Penguin right now. Plenty of ink. AK kind of tending towards the area in front of him, has to let his teammates go ahead of him and take care of them and win these 1v1s, win the firefight happening. Kibber kind of obviously taking a lot of control of the area immediately in front of him, but Almost Kids coming out from on top of SetToDestroy there and will take the first game. And so for them, Almost Kids getting the start they needed to. SetToDestroy, you know, they have the winner's bracket advantage. They have plenty of time to recover from this, but it's not the start they wanted to see in a situation where, honestly, I didn't expect the scores to be the end of it all.
No, that was definitely a very, very close game, and usually you see the score on that map, the win will be more in the 30 or 20s remaining, something barely past 50. It's not even around the corner of that ramp. So a very, very hard-fought game on either side, just going back and forth, and really to be expected when there's five splatter shots on the map. So not too much advantage to be taken in different ranges, just really just going at it in those 1v1s.
Mm-hmm. And those 1v1s obviously being such a compelling and important part of the kind of play that takes place over what will be potentially the next 6 maps, and maybe as little as the next 4. But for something like Splat Zones on Starfish, those 1v1s that happen, whether it be the middle of the map or whether you push up onto an enemy's base, those are going to really matter what an individual does in their meantime and what the players can actually think of doing in the heat of it all, the heat of the moment. Because when you think of these great players and how, you know, maybe however much you might look up to them, if not for their character or whatever their play might be, a lot of their play just comes to the simple decision-making aspect of it all. And you have to wonder, for SetToDestroy, and even for Almost Kids, what kind of steps will they take? Will they be tending towards the side more? Will they be tending towards that point of elevation in the middle of the map where they can get on top and throw splat bombs and, you know, kind of play that campy role? Or are they really going to go full on out and just go for those flanks across walls, across, you know, towards the other side of the map? All those decisions in a, whether it be on a macro scale and a micro scale, come to really form what we're seeing here in the grand finals for all these insanely talented teams.
Almost Kids, see how long they can ride this momentum from losers bracket. Starting out good here, but see how well they do, and Splat Zone's really going to depend on how this first fight ends up going here and see what control either team can get off of that first win, or if the first fight's going to be definitive on either side for a victory.
Yeah, we do see that. Ooh, okay. SetToDestroy able to get on top of that splat on the left side. Hexen able to take control of that. But of course, Almost Kids is going to call it. Well, yeah, I got taken down towards the right side of the map. He's on the grates right now. Please watch out for him. They're going to toss a couple splat bombs in there and make sure Hexen is nowhere near a position he wants to be in. Because obviously, from that position, you can leverage the height that you have to rain down ink from whether it be your main weapon or your sub. Nice snipe on the Bukichi, and Power in the meantime, we didn't note it in the intermission, but has come in to sub for Ponyo here, and now been able to do a great job so far and being able to get rid of the Almost Kid members in front of him. Now, at least if nothing else, for getting the splats, trying to get the control in front of him as Almost Kid is able to get that green and fill that zone up with it.
And see how much pressure Power is put, and how much pressure he has put on him from Almost Kids, and if he's able to switch into that offensive stance with the bomb rush that the Firefin Charger does have.
Yeah, and we do see that on the... Ooh, okay, they're not able to get control of the point. Okay, now they're able to recover. Almost Kids, of course, they recognize that that's not much of a penalty, actually, and they're going to be able to take the lead rather sooner than later, as Kibber here is going to be able to get the splat on top of another. Does see that InkStorm is able to at least escape it for now, as well as the fire from the blaster to the right of him, but just for a little bit. As Bukichi here with the Rapid Blaster player for Almost Kids, able to come out and clutch it for this side, as they're able to get control of the zone once again before that spot zone and that zone territory control gets further than it really needs to for this Japanese side. SetToDestroyX now really facing the difficulty of getting back in once again, as a lot of the play getting back to the middle of the map has revolved around just straight up going to the middle. So now Power, from the place that he's at, he has a great glimpse of where the Japanese side might be. Of course, the penalty being stacked onto Almost Kids means he can play a little bit more patiently, but with the splat bomb right around him, maybe you want to put down that wall, maybe you want to give himself a little bit more of a defensive effort. I don't know how you saw that person, in what dimension, in what alternate reality you were able to see that person so clearly, so much as clearly, so that you decided to aim your cursor there and release it at the right time. But the suction bomb rush, as well as the splat, is going to be able to turn this zone into a deadbeat, or set a destroy zone, if you will. And Power getting back into that point. Job well done on his part to be able to keep this penalty where it is, keep Almost Kids where they are at with this objective control. That's
Power just doing an excellent job right now, using that very minimal cover in the zone and just being able to snake around that with his snipes.
But that being said, SetToDestroy, I don't think they've been able to recover the zone in quite a while. They do have a special ready to take control of it soon, but they're going to lose the lead in the meantime. They surely aren't worried about it too much. They decide, okay, no need to rush it, and decide to play haphazardly as a result of our impatience. We're just going to simply actually just take our time and execute this to our fullest extent, to the best extent. Unfortunately, that inkjet isn't going to net any splats they needed to get down. Splats are going to go at least some purple in SetToDestroy's way, but not to the extent that they wanted to. On the right side, sorry, to the left side, we do see Penga trying to get the control of Ink in front of them that they want, but will not be able to do so to the hands of Bukichi, as he's going to be able to say, clap these hands, boy, I got this Rapid Blaster, you're not going to be able to reach me, Penga. And with 1 minute and 7 seconds left to go, Almost Kids, I think, are going to be able to run away with this one towards a knockout, unless Kiver can do something about it towards these winding seconds down. Unfortunately, the Ink Exhaust not going to get the kill for Almost Kids here with 7 seconds left to go. Kiver and Penguin is on towards the zone, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And that's going to be Almost Kids taking a game 2.
Quick, well, not a quick 2-0, but as 2 really hard-fought games down to the 5 minutes there, and that's grinding out 2-0 right now, and SetToDestroy going to need to look for another way back into the set.
Now, yeah, this is obviously something to start you don't want to be seeing from a side like SetToDestroyX, who so far coming into the set, they haven't had to deal with the adversity of more than one loss in a set, and let alone beyond that, just even something like 2 losses in a single set. So obviously this might be an element of, okay, you know, we haven't really had this element of dealing with this level of adversity, or at least climbing back from the extent of these losses so far, as much as we have in InkStorm Plus. And so maybe they're getting that situated, kind of finding their space and their ground for the map that is to come. And obviously it's going to be one heck of one. Tower control and humpback. It's probably not going to be as hectic as Splat Zones is on this map, but either way, the tower moving in the ways it does is going to surely make this a set that's SetToDestroyX. If they're looking to come back, this is a map they can do it on.
Yeah, this is maybe the chaos that they need to really shake up how the set's been going so far. It's been very, very hotly contested games, but Almost Kids being able to edge out the victories in each of these previous 2 games.
Yeah, for now it looks like, you know, this is something, a little bit of a momentum changer that SetToDestroyX could use. This is something that you know, for our 2 teams here, obviously we're not going to pin everything to momentum. And certainly over the course of these games, they haven't been full-fledged knockouts or anything to that extent. No, these have been, I won't say nail-biters, but they've been closely contested, very much back and forth, and nothing to write a particular team off for right now. And so, you know, for the level that we're at, as we get ourselves situated here, I'm really looking forward to how we move on from this one. I am, you know, waiting for the best that's to come from this game in particular. And so now, as we get ourselves situated, any thoughts in particular on Humpback, on tower control, or maybe even beyond that, the course of this set as a whole? What in particular does SetToDestroy need to do on a map like this?
On the pump track, just really needs to make sure that they have enough fire to get over onto the plats of Almost Kids to keep them back as the tower just rides right next to it. And just they need to convert more off of the little advantages that they do get. So to maybe put that into something more, because there really hasn't been too much going back and forth on really hasn't been too much happening in terms of, wow, this is a really big advantage for them. So, but really both teams just need to be able to really take those little advantages and ride them out to their fullest.
Yeah, and we'll be able to see here as SetToDestroy able to get these flat with the yellow ink that they are in. Kiver now pushing up into the enemy base as it may be. Has the inkjet available as well, going to pop it as soon as AK pops in, and will get the trade. Taku there for the reflexes to be able to aim your shots up in the seconds that the inkjet was up and get it to the point where it was at. Incredibly impressive, almost as impressive as SetToDestroyX, pushing to the 34-point marker on the tower already. A great start on the behalf of SetToDestroyX. The kind of start you want to see from this side that has proven so much in the bracket stages of this tournament. They've had so much to say for themselves, and now they're finally displaying that here at the beginning of this game.
The kind of start that you really want when you're down 0-2 and need to make a statement in this next game.
And now, tower, of course, being taken control by just a little bit by Riku, being bumped off just a little bit from the effect of the ink armor being popped. He does pop that inkjet, does have a lot of vision over SetToDestroy, but with the points of elevation on this map, he's going to have a tough time getting to a point, an advantage where he can actually shoot those players rather easily. In fact, he's going to go down just like that. Hexen going to be sharking towards the tower, making sure any AK players jumping onto the right side doesn't get on top of the tower, but unfortunately, he has failed his job. Taku is going to be able to get on top of that tower after getting rid of Hexen there. Inkjet up for just a little bit longer before it looks like Penguin may be able to get rid of Taku here on top of the tower. But no, he pops the Inkjet. Unfortunately not able to get the splat, but able to distract him for just a little bit longer. And before that tower is somewhat reset back to neutral, but in the midst of it all, you see the compositions that have been put out here. Only one ink armor on behalf of Almost Kids for this game in particular. And on the other side, you see the same, and having the balance and kind of ink armors. I don't know if it's the X factor as to what's led up to, the kind of level of play that SetToDestroy has set for themselves right now. Being able to play so offensively in the beginning and playing as defensively as they are right now, but it might be a factor in it. Either way, we're at the 66-point marker, with just about 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in this one, as Bukichi has been splatted, and Almost Kids, at this stage in the game, haven't found the answers. Inkjet being popped up, Punyo does spot out a lot of players to his left and right. He's going to hone in on, at least, I believe, Taku there before going down, I think, to Bukichi, who did see his spawn on the Rapid Blaster. And in the meantime, a lot of the focus of play being focused on that tower. SetToDestroy practicing that mantra of the best defense is a rigorous, aggressive offense. And so far, doing a great job of that. As Hexen here towards the middle, able to get two just like that. And so right now, we are able to see, with 1 minute and 27 seconds left to go, this is the kind of play SetToDestroy has been setting themselves up for. Riku here on the left side, so much so pinned down that he doesn't have the opportunity to jump into this middle until his teammates generate that special. We've been talking at length about how well Japanese teams have been developing specials and how quickly they are at doing it and leveraging that kind of push, that kind of display for how well they can do that into getting the advantage of whether it be map control or the objective or both, of course, which seems to go so hand in hand. 50 seconds left to go on this one, and SetToDestroy getting towards that last checkpoint here as Almost Kids, they are reaching at straws to be able to defend at this point, and such instability from this Almost Kids side. They've only been able to really push up, I think, once, maybe twice, and it seems so little, seems so far so far and few in between as this whole map is yellow. You see with 25 seconds, Deadbeater, SetToDestroy, they've done all they can to really show up to this Japanese side and say, no, this kind of momentum you thought you had in the first 2 games, absolutely nothing. Penge gonna put down his burst pump to help his teammates off towards the other side of the map. They're gonna lose tower, but certainly take control of the room around it, and that is going to be that, as SetToDestroy, an astounding response back to the first 2 games.
Really is just hard fought game on both sides once again, but this time SetToDestroy comes out on top and this really sets the tone for the rest of the set here.
So right now, I believe we're going to get something of a time check. Unfortunately, I think seems like you've been having internet issues yourself, Sly. If you're able to fix it at all, let us know.
I will, but definitely definitely having problems here.
Yeah. Well, if that's going to be said, Sly, I guess we'll hand the mic off, proverbially to 9-hole Grains here, who's been sitting off to the side, ready to sub in, quiet down his roommates. No way you're getting in front of my time for Splatoon commentary here. As Sly, it's been a pleasure. I hope you stick around, as with all of you, as we're getting through with this Game 3. Thank you so much, Sly. 9, I think that was your cue.
Ah, yes. Here I am, everybody. Good to be back on here. Glad to be commentating again here on the super hype Grand Finals. I saw people in the chat mentioning those 3 letters that no one wants to hear in Grand Finals. Those are DPG. For those of you not familiar, 0 and 8. Sorry, Hitzel. Sorry to all members of Strange Approach. But it looks like, as you were saying there at the end of that last game, SetToDestroy saying all that momentum that you have, not worth anything. We're on the board. We're here to play. And now we have a pretty interesting map and mode combination. Rainmaker Inkblot Art Academy, it's one of the only maps where you've really only got one way.
Yeah, and just to be sure, let's make sure we have our stuff synced up, right? I'm at the 49, 48, 47 point marker. And just to give you a kind of indication of where I'm at right now. And I believe I'm in line with the streamer, so if you could make that adjusted, I know it's a lot to ask for on midcast, and I appreciate our viewers kind of putting up with our tomfoolery here.
I'm at 32, 31, 30.
We're clean. We are so slick. We are so ready. Game 4 on the Inkblot Art Academy. Rainmaker, are you guys ready for it? This is actually my favorite map and mode, both together. I don't know what you guys are feeling. I don't know how you feel about this map, but it's one that's, wow, however fun it is for me to play, rather limited for how you're going to get to that Rainmaker, how limited for how you're going to defend that Rainmaker push.
Yeah, it's so interesting. There's that bottleneck on the left side down there where you have to go up that uninkable ramp. Getting through that is so difficult, but once you get past that, that plat gets inked really fast, and you get to move really fast along with it, swimming through there with the Rainmaker. But let's talk a little bit about the comps that we've been seeing here, and we are still seeing right now. It's shooters and aggression and not a lot of tri-sloshers. Very interesting to see this late in the game.
Nice splat bomb on top of area. They're going to be able to push on top of all over almost kids with that splat bomb and a couple more. Kipper winning the 1v1 to the left. Inkjet winning the 1v1 to the right. SetToDestroy. Are you kidding me? With a response like that, it is 2-2, and the proverbial Team USA back on top of it again. My goodness.
Well, all right. We didn't get to talk about that game whatsoever. Let's see here. It looks like Wit going in there with the 4KA there. Awesome stuff. Hexen also getting in here. But what I was saying earlier about the last tri-sloshers, both sides may be finding something they like more in the mobility that comes with the shooters and allows them to beat and move that quickly. And you certainly saw quick movement there. That ended before we could even say anything. Was that before the 30-second mark?
It was. They said, nope. I don't. What is a timer? What even is a timer? Catch these hands. Let's get this going. We already got this 2-1. Might as well make it 2-2. We're not going to keep the audience waiting by any means. They want to go to bed. It's 7:10 p.m. Let's go ahead and make this a 4-2 or a 4-3. As that response seemed to qualify anything SetToDestroy wanted to say to Almost Kids. They've been able to recover from the 2-0 slump they had at the beginning of the set in such seamless fashion.
They did it really well, and it looks like Almost Kids in response is bringing in Bukichi, which has been a thorn in the sides of pretty much everyone they've played. We've talked about it all day. Rapid Blaster. If you can't challenge it, if you can't pressure it, it will make your life difficult. And sometimes, if you've got the aim of Bukichi, even if you do pressure them, they make your life difficult. So keep an eye on what Power is doing, how they call out Bukichi, because in those earlier games, Bukichi was able to really put, I guess, kind of corral what they were doing with all that mobility, because you can't swim through directs.
Yeah, obviously the directs is going to be a real big issue, and to that extent, it really matters what you're equipping onto yourself and how you're adapting to the enemy composition that's being shown in advance, and obviously that can be changed up on the spot. But teams doing their best to adjust and build their equipment in a way that they can avoid, especially as you were saying, the directs from another team, and maybe. And beyond that, the fire from a team, whatever levels of ink resistance and movement speed, it changes, and that's going to change with the class of player plays or how they have, how their individual plays in general. Either way, we're going to go ahead and get this one started on Port Mackerel here.
Jumping out to a very quick lead, that early lead, it doesn't really dictate a whole lot more than just those first few things here, but it does look like a couple members of Almost Kids there went down here. Hexen moving over to the side. Those curling bombs, actually a really fun pick on this map, being able to continue soaking up just little tiny bits of ink to build up that very quick inkjet that is kind of the calling card of the Imperi Dualies. Power not quite able to snipe them out of the side, but it looks like they have set up a really solid perimeter here on the outsides, holding these outer lanes.
Yeah, and beyond that, you see two specials available for SetToDestroy here. They're going to be able to put those out to full effect, able to take out Taku in the meantime, and unfortunately not able to use them to towards a zone, but either way, they're going to eventually get back in control. You see the Inkjet here pushing ahead with all four members on a near ace here, if not a full-on ace here for SetToDestroy, as they're going to be able to push into an intimidating part of the map towards the enemy base. Can they defend this consistently and cohesively? That's going to be the answer we're going to want to answer in the next 20 seconds or so.
They already spot out Riku here on the side.
Goodness.
No funny business going on whatsoever, and this is one of those danger zones that we talk about. The more of the game is played right there in that front courtyard, the worse things are off for you. Gonna do their best here, trying to get something going with this Inkjet. I don't think they got any kills off of that. You still see 4 up. Dang it, not really near another Inkjet, but I don't know if it's gonna matter.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to get the spots they need to. Almost Kids, it's almost beautiful. The kind of song and dance you see from SetToDestroy swinging themselves from the right to the left of the map, pinning down 1 or 2 particular members at a time. Whatever it may have been, if it was just that or that more than that alone, SetToDestroy is 1 game away from winning InkStorm Plus.
And what a thunderous response from them, from Team USA, as you called it earlier, coming back here after going down 0-2 and still finding a way to bring this all the way back. Kiver going crazy, Hexen, 3 Inkjets. Their game plan was clear from the start, and you saw those zeros at the bottom? No one died!
What?
Nobody died!
Almost Kids hasn't splattered a person in 2 games, in a full 2 games. And obviously, you try to look at as a team for the faults in yourself. You look deep inside yourself and say, what could I have possibly done better in this situation that I'm looking back on, whether it be a game in Splatoon or whatever else in real life, and you find yourself backtracking and thinking, okay, maybe I misstepped, maybe when cooking this meal, I didn't exactly add as much salt as I should have, or maybe I just didn't add the peppers I really should have to really accentuate a certain taste. For Almost Kids, it's as simple as this. Get good. That was absolutely, I won't say embarrassing play, but for play in the grand finals, you need to see better from Almost Kids, and they have it within them.
They absolutely do. They really do, and just... You gotta win your 1v1s, get some 2, something. You have to kill other squids in order to win this game. It is not just about turfing. You've got to get that down. And credit to SetToDestroyX. We talk about flawless tune. Those last 2 games were literal flawless tune. No deaths in 2 games. Tower control on Moray Towers. This is a long and tumultuous ride. Lots of open space here. I'm sure that they'll get at least 1 here, but if you are Almost Kids right now, you gotta dig deep. You gotta find something, because SetToDestroyX is playing perfect Splatoon right now.
So right now, obviously, we're going to see Surgeon Shipyard on Rainmaker for Carter, and for Carter and for Zard, that's been helping man this cast. as a whole. It's been a real pleasure to see all of this take place in the way it has. Sturgeon Shipyard, for what we're going to be seeing here, is going to be a real treat. Or sorry, Moray Towers is going to be a real treat. Sorry, we've been moving and grooving so quickly through these maps. I haven't been able to tell.
It's true. This has been a very, very quick grand finals, for better or for worse. Lots of really wins after what was kind of a hard-fought first 2 games. But here we are. Power going to be on the E-Leader. I wondered if we see it. Here it is. This should be his map and mode, even here in Splatoon 2. On the other side, 2 shooters. Riku moving over to the Rapid Blaster, and Arikuma, of course, staying with the Tri-Slosher. This could be it. Almost Kids, what do you got?
And Power, of course, being, you know, taking that role of the E-Leader that we haven't been able to see in a hot minute, and now hopefully able to use it to its fullest extent. Obviously, a big fan of this one on Splatoon 1, a place where you're going to be able to get great vantage points, great splats from across the map. Let's see if he can keep that up with the E-Leader, as he's going to wait for his front line to get ahead of the game. Gets the long-range splat with the Inkjet onto area, and SetToDestroy are going to be taking the initial push with the tower, and a lot of ink control ahead of them. Certainly a scary sight for Almost Kids.
Yeah, right now you see Wit up there, and yeah, absolutely great game right there, getting right over here. You see 2 of them now over in this situation, 2 of the more aggressive ones. They're going to be able to splat out. I don't know if they know that Penga's here. If Penga can get 2, he gets 1. He's not able to get 2. That was a very clutch kill, because that means the area is going to be the last one up left to try to make this stop. Riku also snuck down there all the while as that was going
done.
on.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they're able to stay alive by just a seemingly just by a hair. And honestly, hopefully that's the momentum that Almost Kids needs to get back into this. Because honestly, for the last 2.5 games, it's looked so utterly grim for them on an individual fighting basis, or, you know, a team fight basis. We haven't seen a team fight in the last 2.5 games.
No.
And so hopefully, as they have 2 members here, they're going to be able to try to 2v1 this SetToDestroy member. Kiver obviously caught a little bit off guard, but able to swim back to the multitude of ink behind him. But Almost Kids doing a good job of actually finally getting themselves together in a situation where they're united as a cohesive unit, pushing up into the middle of this map, giving the rest of their teammates the opportunity and the time to recover back to the middle of the map. And unfortunately for them, it's still not going to be enough. You still see Almost Kids going all the way around to this point, way ahead of the and above, or sorry, below the tower. And Kiver trying to get the splat on top of Almost Kids here, gets it with the ending ink exhaust there as well.
My goodness.
And we're at the second checkpoint. Sorry, the last checkpoint.
The last one's Riku. If Riku goes down, that's it. And that is it. I don't think the other 3 are going to be able to get down in time. Is this it? SetToDestroyX, are you going to do it?
SetToDestroy are your InkStorm Plus champions, and congratulations to them. They've been able to clutch on what was seemingly was gonna be a close set in those first couple of games, but Almost Kids self-destructing seemingly, and the story that was told was SetToDestroy absolutely wiping the floor. You see 10 splats for almost every member of SetToDestroy there, and they are certainly your rightful winners of InkStorm Plus.
Unbelievable pressure. Every single member chipping in there. You putting pressure up on that overlook almost immediately at the start of the game, and it wasn't just one. You saw Hexen get up there. You saw Kiver throw some blows. Penguin, of course, always being in the middle of action, and Power providing that support that we're so used to seeing. That InkStorm actually that was just barely drifting above the ground was instrumental in them getting that last push. And if you're Almost Kid, do you have to kind of be... I mean, certainly you got second place, so you can't be too disappointed, but you had that. You were up 2-0 and then roaring back, SetToDestroyX. And just like at E3, SetToDestroyX coming out on top in grand finals over a Japanese team, and this may be a new age that we are looking at.
This is the first InkStorm ever. I